Again, everybody, this is Colton, and I was going to bring you another installation of my videos on witchcraft and spellcraft casting and magic traditions all around. In today's episode, I was going to speak a little bit about actually casting spells and then also instruments that are used in the casting of spells in particular, or in this case, wands. Spellcasting or spellcrafting is very, very simple, and you can do it in many different ways. It can become very elaborate. It all depends on you. It depends on your personal style and what you like, but it can be, one of the simplest things or one of the most long and elaborate things that you can think of. So, to elaborate on that a little bit more, one of the easiest ways to cast a spell is simply by taking a piece of paper and writing your intentions, writing what you want to actually happen on that down, and then burning it into a cauldron. You can amplify this a little bit by using herbs that correspond with your intention, placing that in the paper, placing that in the cauldron, anointing the paper with certain condition oils. And that would amplify it some. Or if you don't even have a cauldron, you can just take it out to a three-way crossroads, and burn it out there. Traditionally, three-way crossroads are places of power, magical places of power, and there are other ones that correspond with other intentions that you can certainly find, like graveyards, sacred spots, clearings, things like that at the ocean or springs. All of them have different things that they do. But, we will get into those later in the program. And also, along with this video, each other video that I post when I'm actually showing you how to brew or craft something, I will actually show you how to charge it, how to actually cast on that, so that you can really empower it. And so you will see the practical technique along with it instead of me just describing everything to you. But first and foremost, my philosophy about witchcraft and my idea about everything is that if anybody tells you that you're doing something wrong or that you're doing something, incorrect, or that this is not the right way, or whatever you want to say, that's a bunch of crap, basically. You are your own craft, and especially in traditional witchcraft. Whatever you think is right, however you want to do it, that is right, or at least that's what I believe. Now you can get down into the particulars and say that certain things are used for certain other things, certain herbs correspond with this, places correspond with that, but in general, if you want to cast a spell a certain way, then you cast it. If your altar's not facing east or north, or you're not cleansing your hands with rose water beforehand and all that's all very secondary to everything. If somebody says, oh, your spell's not going to work because you didn't call the four quarters and walk around the circle 3 times and blah, 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 that is much more, and again, not to pick on the Wiccans, but that's a Wiccan mindset, or at least that's what I have found amongst Wiccans, mainly, that, this has to be this, and you've got to be facing this way, and you've got to call on this. You cast your spells however you want to. And the only thing that you need to cast a spell is your intention and your emotion. Those two things. That is the most important component and the most important thing about casting a spell. Your intention and your emotion. If you want a spell to manifest very quickly, if you want the outcome to be perfect and fast, then the more intention and the more emotion you put behind it, the more focus you have, that's what's going to make your spell a success, not all of the other secondary things that you add to it. Now, herbs and condition oils, dust and powders, waters, everything, they certainly have their own potency, and they add their blessing to everything. But the only thing you need in magic is your intention, your focus, your emotion, your desire. Those are the important things. You are your own spell. You craft your spell. You create your magic. So that is the most important thing to remember. Now, along with that, these items that I will be showing you how to craft, they will be charged with this personal intent and this desire of yours when you create something, when you actually create an oil, brew an oil, or brew a potion of any kind. You are giving life to this spell. This is something that's storing your intention and your desire in it for as long as its use. So, it's important when you're crafting something to be in the right mindset for that, because you don't want to add an energy or desire into it that you're going to rely on later to help enhance things. For instance, if you are crafting a protection oil and you're feeling very scared and very vulnerable or very, very upset, that's not the right time to craft that oil, because that's going to put that fear and that anxiety and everything into every subsequent thing that you do with that oil. When you craft something like that, you want to feel strong and penetrable. You want to have the force and the will behind it. So it's not good to just craft something willy-nilly. You want to make sure you have very strong intention and focus behind everything. So with that being said, I'm going to show you a few of my wands, a few of the things that I use in my craft. And there are many different components. There are many different magical instruments. There's your cauldron, your besom, staffs, athames, swords, altar stones, altar pieces, candle holders, bells, cruets, anything that you could possibly imagine. And that is, we will be getting to all of those things later, but for right now we're going to just stick with wands, because I think wands are some of the most overlooked and underused instruments in the craft, but they can be a very, very important role in what you do, and in many instances can be used to cast your spells alone and stand alone by themselves. So what I have for you here are 4 different examples of what a wand can look like. A wand can be anything, particularly myself, I like to stick with natural materials like wood and crystals, metal, things like that. But literally, a wand can be anything that you want it to be, something that just points and you can point with. Literally any kind of thing, plastic wand, a metal wand, glass, whatever it is. But each different material adds its own energy to that instrument and that spell that you're doing. So these are just 4 different wands that are some of mine, and I'll explain to you, what they are and the difference between the way they look and what their uses can be for. So the first one that I'm going to show you, this is my more traditional wand. This is really the most frequent used wand that I have. Now, a lot of people look at this and they say, oh, this is a Harry Potter fan collection wand or anything like that. And yes, it does look a lot like Harry Potter, and particularly I love Harry Potter and I'm a huge fan and nerd when it comes to that. But no, this is not one of their plaster wands that they craft or anything like that. This is an actual magical wand. And I like the look of it because it does look very much like what one would think a traditional wand looks like. This particular wand is made of shisham. Shisham is Indian rosewood. It's a very sacred wood as well, but particularly it's very good in love spells, empowering love, emotion, things like that. So particularly it's useful for that, but it can be used in directing any sort of energy. And I use many different condition oils to polish my wand with and charge my wand, empower my wand, and you can empower them in many different ways, and I'll get to that later down the line. But so this is one of my more traditional wands, and I definitely like using this probably above the rest. Next, this is another simple wand that I have. This one is kind of a conglomeration of different components. It has oak wood as its staff, as its base, and up at the top you can see this is a clear quartz crystal, which, clear quartz is the master healer. It's a great conduit user, or it's a great conduit. It projects energy very well, very strong, very powerful. It corresponds with the crown chakra, the third eye chakra, but technically it can be used to open and heal any of the chakras. and overall it's probably one of the most versatile and powerful stones in witchcraft. Along with that, it has twisted copper that holds it in place. Copper itself being an extremely powerful metal, very good at projecting energy and for energy work, and just really good at manifesting and really directing your energy in the way that you want it to go. The next wand, this one is actually just a large chunk of clear quartz crystal that has been shaped into an obelisk. Now this one is a very versatile piece. It can be used actually as a designator for doors if you're doing any kind of ritual. It can just stand on your altar or anywhere in your home, and you can be used as a centerpiece or as a clearing instrument and things like that. However, I do use it many times to direct energy. It is a very nice wand, and it fits very nicely in my hand. And being pure quartz really just, projects energy very well and enhances and amplifies that. So, this is just a very good example of, how wands can look very different or be versatile in many ways. The last one is a massage wand, or they're traditionally called a massage wand. Now you can use these in massages, and I do use them in massages. I have different types of these shorter, smaller wands. They're very usually not much longer than this, about 5 inches. This one is a mixture of amethyst, aventurite, a couple of other crystals that are down in there, but this is another purely crystal wand. It can be used to really direct energy, and being amethyst is really good for psychic work, and just some of the other crystals that are mixed into there, really good for divination, psychic work, any kind of spiritual work that you're doing, manifestation, astral projection, and particularly I do like using this wand in meditations or to open my third eye, and a lot of times will sleep with it under my pillow to help me if I'm wanting to do any kind of dream divination or anything like that. So those are 4 different examples of wands. They can come in any shape, length, size, be made out of all types of different very wonderful materials. And the most personal thing, or the most important thing, is to really personalize your wand. It's really great if you can craft one of your own. I have crafted a few of them myself. They're nothing really in particular, special or amazing looking. But you can truly just go pick a twig off a tree and make that your wand. But the most important thing is to really personalize it. Give it a lot of your energy. Give it love and nourishment, and store your energy into it so that when you need it to work, it'll work very well for you. That's why this wand in particular is my favorite. I sleep with it a lot. I use it a lot. I carry it around with me. I empower it with lots of different materials, smudge it very, very often, use lots of conditioned oils to really polish the wood and get down in there. And so it really does do the trick for me. It has helped me out in a lot of different situations. And, the more you really personalize any magical instrument and start thinking of it as more of an extension of yourself than just, a thing, a tool to be used, the better it's going to work for you. So that concludes this particular video on spellcrafting and wand use. So if you have any questions or anything you'd like to add or say, please let me know. Please like my videos and follow them, and please just feel free to reach out for any questions. Thank you.